Good evening. Welcome to episode 45 of a weekly gaming news show. I'm back after a week off, here as always with my bud Trenell, and I think I'm a bit caught up with the news this week now.
Yeah. Not a lot going on in the news this week, but we got some stories that we want to share with you guys. We missed you last time, man. I brought out the rogues gallery, our rogues gallery.
Yeah, I missed the quorum, man. I miss O and Yama.
Yeah, O and Yama were on, and we it was quite a show. Very interesting. A lot of different events were going on. If you haven't checked that out, anybody that's watching, that's a really entertaining one. Yama always knows how to bring the comedy.
It definitely started off on fire.
Yeah. It started off on fire, like almost literally. But we want to welcome the homeboy Todd back, and we definitely want to get into these news stories. But before we do that, let's jump into our weekly icebreaker. And what do we have for this week, Todd?
Well, this week, so Microsoft announced their games for gold, and I started thinking, I'm like, last year ended on a high note, and this year has been a bit of a dud. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on games for gold over the past I guess this would be the 5th month of the year, right?
Right.
So I mean, me personally, I'm going to start. So I know I asked you, but I'm going to start anyway because sometimes
I'm going to let you finish, though.
Yeah, I'll let you. But me personally, I think it's been severely underwhelming on both sides, PlayStation Plus as well as Microsoft games with gold. I mean, I had one great title on PlayStation Plus with Little Big Planet. That was back in February, Little Big Planet 3.
Yeah.
And then Xbox, I mean, they had some marginal games. I mean, they had Project Cars. They did Rise. But overall, I mean, they did a couple of good backwards compatibility games.
Yeah, definitely.
But I just think overall the quality of the games are being made available are going down, and I'm a bit disappointed in that.
Well, definitely when it comes to the Xbox side on my end, my issue is that I've either played all of the games that they make available for free, or I currently still own them. Like just this year alone, I'm going down the list for 2017, and on the Xbox 360 side, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just out of this year, I already owned 4 of the games for 2017,
Right.
And for the Xbox One for this year, let's see, 1, 2. 3. So 4 and 3 games I already own, and that's just the product of me just being an Xbot. You know, I buy games for my console, so when they release some of them for free, I mean, it's cool. They're good games. I'll recommend them to anybody. But I mean, I already own them. I've already played them. I don't see myself putting any more time into it. On the PlayStation side, though. And we were, we always discuss this anytime we bring up the PlayStation PS Plus games, free games or whatever. They're just not that appealing.
Right.
I do regret the fact that I missed out on
Little Big Planet.
Yeah. That was probably the biggest loss. In my opinion.
Well, Sony kind of cheated us on Little Big Planet because they released it a week late in February.
True.
So they released it, made it available the second week of February, and in an already short month. So I felt that was kind of
they didn't extend the amount of time that it was available either.
Right. Yes.
I mean, but that was my fault. I'm not gonna blame them for me not turning on my PlayStation. I mean, around that time I wasn't even turning on my PlayStation, so it wasn't like it was like actively on my mind. But other than that, you have a whole bunch of like Vita games that you have to go through the rigmarole to get onto your PlayStation 4. That's a problem. And then also you have the PlayStation 3 games that are not backwards compatible. Like my biggest gripe and what probably got me the most triggered was when one of the Yakuza, I think it was Yakuza 5, was available but that's
remember
only a PS3 game.
Remember the rage?
Yeah, the rage was real with that one. So I don't know. It's kind of been it's been hit and miss for me on Xbox. If anything, I would say like some of the earlier games, like maybe before I had the Xbox One, like Rise, Son of Rome. That was a good download. I put some time into it. But yeah, I can agree with you that the quality of games are definitely starting to decline on both ends.
Right.
For a while, we thought that PlayStation might have been making somewhat of a resurgence after Little Big Planet, but then we got games like Earth Defense Force. Like what?
Right.
Like,
Defense Force.
Nobody wants that. I don't think anybody wants most of these games. Honestly, but they have been making the games that are available more accessible, even if it is through unconventional means. They have been going out of their way to get the ones
titles.
Right. Yeah, the ones that are available on Vita are also available for you to get on PlayStation 4. I feel like they've been going out of their way to do that, so that is a good thing. But overall, would I say I'm disappointed? Yeah, I'm a little disappointed because last year, towards the end of the last year, we got some really good games. Some that I ended up putting hours into, like Earthlock. Earthlock was freaking awesome.
Yeah, Earthlock is. I still want to go back and finish.
Yeah, I still got to finish that, man. We should do a dual stream one day where we just sit down, talk, and go through the game.
Yeah,
because
cool.
Because
it is
otherwise I don't think I'm gonna make it. I can't just sit down by myself and play that. I don't know why. I get lost. And since you're like way ahead of me, you can help me out. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I rushed through it, and I'm stuck because I rushed through it, and I didn't grind to a high enough level. So
I was grinding, dude.
I'm at the boss getting one shot. I'm like, oh
no.
God.
Yeah, that's no bueno.
That's what made me put it down, because I was like, do I want to do this grind right now?
Yes.
Yeah, but I definitely go back because I enjoyed the game. I want to see how the story ends.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's a solid story and very, very solid battle mechanics. I love the battle mechanics in that game.
Yeah.
If there's anything that I can say is that it is fun to play. That's why I grinded in the game, because it wasn't boring.
Yeah, exactly.
Grinding isn't boring in that game. And any RPG that can make me not feel like, I'm wasting my life because I need to grind is doing the job right.
It's doing it right.
It's doing it right. So yeah, that game deserves to be beat. I'm gonna beat you, Earthlock. I'm gonna beat you. I have to. Freaking hashtag backlog. Jesus Christ. My backlog is tremendous.
Join the club, man. I'm a week off behind now. Mm-hmm. I still got Mass Effect. I still got Horizon.
Stop.
I got tons. Maybe it's good that we're not getting good quality games for free now.
Right? Yeah, because that would just it would just add to the backlog. Yeah, it would just add to the already increasingly large backlog that we have here.
Right.
But so that was our weekly icebreaker. It's just a question that we like to ask of each other to get the creative juices flowing. And if you want to ask us a question yourselves, you can do so by using the hashtag weekly icebreaker on social media. So ask us a question. We would love to answer it live for you guys on the podcast. Just hit us up. We would love to hear from you. But definitely. I think we can go ahead and move on to our next segment, which is our top 5 news stories of the week. And we were just talking about Games for Gold. And so our first story is the May Games for Gold on Xbox One and Xbox 360 have been announced.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and go through the list here. I'll let you go ahead and start off. What we got first?
So available starting May 1st. And remember, these are staggered releases. They're not all available all month. But Gianna Sisters, Twisted Dreams, the director's cut. It's a platformer.
Mm-hmm.
It actually looks kind of colorful, looks interesting. But it's an indie platformer. It's like this little clown or what do you call them? It's what Harley Quinn is.
Like little like mime chicks or whatever,
Yeah,
something like
whatever
that.
she is. But it looks interesting. It looks fun. It's extra colorful.
Hmm.
So it's nice. So it's basically a nice indie platformer. I wouldn't say it was a horrible game, but it's I don't know.
I don't know. It looks pretty cool to me. I mean, platformers are my favorite genre. I mean, look at my T-shirt. It's you can see the Sonic logo. You know what I'm all about. I love me some platformers, and I've always had my eye on that game. I've seen it a few
Mhm.
times on the marketplace, and I was wondering, whether or not it was good. So now I'll get a chance to find out. And I'm not sure if it's multiplayer or not. If it's multiplayer, then I'll definitely get it because it's something that me and my girlfriend can play.
Yeah, that's true.
But it looks like it's only single player from the looks of the
Um,
from the
let's
looks
see.
of the trailer or whatnot.
Yeah,
I'm not
it
sure.
seems like it's only single player. Yeah.
But no, that one looks cool. The next game on the list that we have coming out for the Xbox One is Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris. Now, this game, see, and this is the the plague that I go through. I already own this game,
Oh, do you
and
really?
yeah, I own this game, and I can tell you right now, if you have the first one, I think it's like the Lara Croft and the Temple of Light or something like that. Like, don't. I
Well,
honestly would pass on this one.
yeah, this is a bad follow up to the original. You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah. It's a side or like a spin off series that takes place in the same universe as the original Tomb Raider game. So you have like the original voice actress and all that, and it's a top down perspective, like twin stick shooter, kind of with like platforming and puzzle elements. In the original is really fun. What they
Uh-huh.
did for this game, the Temple of Osiris or whatnot, is they opened it up to more than just two players, so it's 4-player co-op.
Mhm.
But a lot of the core game mechanics were just either
Well,
stripped down to like its bare bones or taken out altogether.
right.
And I remember me and Mount Lover, we 100% completed the original game in this series. We destroyed that game. It
Mhm.
is so much fun. I actually have videos of it on my YouTube channel if anybody wants to check those out. But um, this was just a very bad follow up, and it's unfortunate because I don't think that we're going to see another one in the same
Right.
style as this.
Right. It seemed like they had a hit. They had a surprise hit, and they
Yeah.
wanted to hurry up and rush something out to piggyback off of it. The
Well,
gameplay
it's not
mechanic.
even that it was rushed out. I mean, this came out like I believe
2
like
years.
years, like 2 3 years
It's like
after.
2 3 years, but I think when I say rushed out, because these type of games are like put on, it's not as if they would have spent 2 or 3 years developing it.
Right.
They
True.
would do something else and then say, okay, this one did well, let's go back and do this.
Yeah.
I felt it seems like um, what they did is because they added the extra players, they
Hmm.
couldn't get it to work with some of the original platform and some of the original fun with the game,
Right.
and they had to. That's why they had to take a bunch of it out. But yeah,
Yeah.
definitely a pass.
It just suffered from that. I mean, I felt like the game was playable. The original was playable on on its own with just single player.
Hmm.
But it was just way more fun with two people. Because you have Laura who's more really like agile, and she has her little like zip line thing.
Hmm.
And then you had like the ancient. I can't remember his name. Like T Zalk or something like that. But he had like his like magical spears that could make like footholds and stuff. So it was a very very cool dynamic, and for a co-op game, it just came together perfectly.
It,
Now
it,
opening it up to 4 people is like you don't get that same like dynamic.
yeah, that
Everybody kind of has the exact same thing except
right.
like maybe like fire damage or ice damage or something. We didn't even get that far in the game. Like honestly, we were done with it after like 2 hours.
I would look at it this way. Think of it as Marvel Ultimate Alliance, where the different characters didn't have the combos. The what do you call them? The combo moves, the
Hmm.
paired moves.
Yeah,
It's something like that. So you have the 4 different players, and just like you said, they're all doing the same, pretty much same basic.
primarily the same thing. Yeah,
Yeah, with different elements or yeah, pass.
yeah. I would definitely pass on that.
Okay,
Go ahead.
the next game, Star Wars: The Force Unleashed 2. This is a 360 game, but it's going to be playable on your Xbox One through via backwards compatibility.
Right.
And this is just like the previous game, Warcraft. The original Force Unleashed was a good game. It wasn't a great game, but it was a good game. It was fun.
Right.
The Force Unleashed, pass, is not good. I didn't think it was good.
I mean, I never played the Force Unleashed 2. I did put I managed to put a dent in the first one like way back in the day. I think I may have like rented it from like a Blockbuster when those were still a thing or something. I know I got my hands on it. I can't remember exactly how, but I did play the first one. And I just remember nobody really caring for the second one like at all.
It's just not good. It's not good.
I don't know. I'm almost curious to why it is that people just like dislike this one so much.
It's from everything from the story to the way they tried to change some of the game mechanics. How they tried to make Starkiller like he went from being an unknown or new character. They tried to make him an integral part of Star Wars. And that's part of the backlash. We don't want an outsider, or Star Wars fans don't want outsiders. So I don't know. It was a lot that was wrong with the game. It just wound up not being as good.
It just didn't hit as hard as the first one.
Yeah, the first one, and to be quite honest, the first one wasn't that great. It was okay. It was a middling game. I would say.
I feel like it was a decent game for somebody, and that's the thing when you get into like the fandom of like these different franchises. The same thing that I felt with Rising Revengeance, that Metal Gear game. That was an awesome game for somebody that isn't really deep into Metal Gear, like me. Like I've never really been a fan of Metal Gear. I've played 3, never really was into the story. But Rise of Revengeance is my freaking jam. I love that game, and I feel like The Force Unleashed was a really good game for somebody who didn't really take the lore and the grand scope of things all that serious,
Right.
But so that was the first game on the 360. The next game on the 360, keeping with the Star Wars theme, is the Lego Star Wars Complete Saga, which includes what is it? The 2 prequel games and the original trilogy.
Yep.
So 5 separate games all in one.
Yeah, I mean,
because I believe they released those games individually as well. Am I mistaken?
Did they release them individually or were they add-ons?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't.
We can look it up really quickly. Lego Star Wars.
But
go ahead.
This is probably one of the better titles of the 4. I would think. This. I don't know. I would get it because my daughter is into the Lego games, so she might like it. But I can't say anything bad about this. It's just something that I'm not really interested in.
Right. It includes Lego Star Wars, which is the prequel trilogy. Lego Star Wars 2 is the original trilogy. Lego Star Wars 3 is the Clone Wars. I do not know if it includes The Force Awakens. Let's take a look. I don't think it includes The Force Awakens.
It's no way, because this is way before Force Awakens was like just last year, right? Or year before last?
Yeah. Lego Star Wars and the sequel Lego Star Wars 2, which are the first 6 episodes in the Star Wars saga. Okay, so the first, so basically 2 games in one.
Right, the first 6 episodes 1 through 3, and then 4 through 6.
Yeah.
That's not bad. I mean,
no, not a bad deal, especially for free. And I believe these are the Star Wars or Lego games that were done before they implemented voice acting. So a lot of the story, well, all of the story is being told like by like actions and like sound effects and noises. Right. And I've gotten feedback from players that enjoyed the Lego games that they actually appreciated it a lot more before they went the voice acting route, because if you are familiar with the lore and the original content, it just makes it all that much funnier when they make like little jokes or whatnot.
Right. Easier to pick up.
Easier to pick up, but I agree with you. I'd have to say that's probably the best download worth your freaking hard drive space. Other than the Gianna sisters or Gina sisters, I think I might try that one out just because I'm a platformer guy.
It looks okay. I mean, it doesn't look horrible. It could be a sleeper hit like Earthlock was.
True.
So I mean, it's definitely. I mean, anytime it's free is worth a try, right? It doesn't cost you anything, just some hard drive space.
Right. It's just like with this list, I can definitely tell you from personal experience that you should probably steer clear of the Temple of Osiris, and the same thing with Boogie and Force Awakens 2. These are two games that aren't really that good in our opinions, and that's what this show is all about. We report the news to you guys, and then we kind of give our opinions.
Yeah,
it is in my personal opinion that Temple of Osiris is garbage compared to the original.
I have to say the same thing about the Force Unleashed too.
And see, that's why I love this show, man, because we get to like bounce ideas off of each other. Like I never played Force Awakens, but you have, and you never played the Tomb Raider game. So yeah, that was actually a very awesome exchange. I enjoyed that. But let us know what you guys think. Have you played any of the games on this list? If not, are you planning on downloading any of them? Let us know in the comment section or wherever you are consuming this media. We would love to hear from you, and we'd love to hear your opinions as well. But let's go ahead and move on to the next story, which is kind of like a follow-up to a story that we did not too long ago. Boogie, why don't you go ahead and start us off with this one?
So everybody's favorite pirate site, G2A, is digging itself more of a hole. Just this past week, they went to a conference. It's a developer conference, the Reboot Develop Conference. It was in Croatia. And one of the representatives was holding a panel. And, of course, the developers there were just destroying them. Because, if you don't know, G2A deals in some questionable business practice, to put it lightly. They started off with one of the representatives saying that they don't operate as a gray market. All their stuff is above book. And they didn't understand why Gearbox ended its business deal with them.
Okay.
And they don't think it was because of shady business dealings. They were directly asked
on
why.
On the contrary.
They were directly asked why didn't they just make the changes that Gearbox was asking?
Right.
And they answered, or the representative that was speaking answered, and I think this guy was his Mario Marek. He was an account manager, senior account manager. He responded by telling them that they had 40% of their workforce were women. That 40% of their workforce was women. So obvious dodge.
Not answering the question at all.
No, like
trying to hit him with a Kellyanne Conway out here.
Right.
He tried, right. My boy.
They get Conway them, and it's just it's sad. I've never used G2A. I don't like those sites. And we've had these sites. I'm a proponent of the creator. I mean, people spend a lot of time. They put a lot of effort and energy into making things for people to consume, be it a movie, a song, a game, taking a picture, some artwork, anything. And their effort should be rewarded. You shouldn't be cheating them out of their just dues. And this G2A.
I don't know how much longer they're going to be around. I mean, Mount Lover went over the original story in great detail, and it was brought to the light, just how shady these guys are. Because even if you don't know what they're into, you've seen this logo. I have the logo posted on the screen right now, the G2A.com logo. You've seen that somewhere, like either on like a random Google search or like somewhere. I've seen this logo like all over the place or whatever, and never really knew what they were into until that story broke. And big ups to the YouTube community and more specifically Total Biscuit for just drawing the line in the sand, like, hey, these guys are into some shady business deals. If and Gearbox, I said this last podcast as well. A Gearbox doesn't need any more bad press.
No.
So with them about to take on that lion, they kind of just gave them an ultimatum, and it was good on them to cut ties with G2A.
Yeah. I, I had a problem with that, and I wish I was available for the show because Gearbox, they knew there's no way they didn't know what G2A
of course not.
was.
Of
they
course
knew what
not.
they were getting into. They got caught, right? It's like the thief that gets caught, right?
Right.
You know,
caught with your hands in the cookie jar, my boy.
Caught with their hands in the cookie jar, and they threw out this big ultimatum, and it was just for them to save face.
Definitely.
I still have problems with Gearbox and what they did. I have a bigger problem with G2A because essentially they're taking food out of people's mouths, and that's sad. And prior to the show, I've been trying to figure out how in the cotton picking holy hell are these. How they remain operating, and I couldn't find anything solid, and I also couldn't find any. I just couldn't find anything solid. My only guess is their internet company that has their base of operations addressed in some country that doesn't really give a fuck, right?
Right. Yeah, they have to be, going by some international law that we don't necessarily abide by, or there's just no kind of like consequence for in America as of right now. But like just going down the list of some of the things that they do, you wonder, like, why is it that these guys are able to remain in business? It doesn't make any sense to me, but I don't know. Hopefully this is the beginning of like a snowball effect where these guys will continue to be called out. It'll be brought forth to the light, exposed to more and more people, because I was ignorant to this whole situation before we talked about it last week. So with more people, like me that were kind of like in the dark about what they're about, learning the more Right. So, with more people coming to the forefront and just completely like, disassociating themselves with companies like this, I think this will just be a snowball effect. And while it may not shut them down, it'll definitely hurt them where it counts,
Right. And after this, and this is the problem with them. They are really what's the word I'm thinking? They're brash, and they're oh gosh, I can't think right now. But so after this particular
the conference or whatever.
Yeah, after the conference, after this a panel, after their panel,
right?
Their PR guy, their head PR man, his name is Magic Cook. I guess that's how you pronounce it. This, and I'm gonna read this verbatim. Okay, it says, "Those who want to stop key reselling act against free market and property rights that are essential to the modern economy. If something is to be called gray or shady, these are the practices of making suggestions aimed at hurting legally operating marketplace. If you call G2A gray, try doing the same with respect to eBay, Amazon, and basically all the marketplaces. It is obvious that today we are simply a part of normal legal market." And that statement, and they know, again, they sell stolen keys that are obtained through stolen credit cards. Those other two companies that he mentioned, eBay and Amazon, they will strike you down if they catch you doing that.
Right.
There's no comparison.
No, not at all.
Comparison. So these guys, they're uncaring, and they just feel like they could do what they want to do, and I hope somebody does knock them down.
I hope so. Hopefully somebody knocks them down a notch. I mean, it only takes the voice of a few people to really get something going. Hopefully this, like I said, this is just like a snowball effect, and as time goes forward and more people learn about these guys and what they're into, they'll be exposed to for what they really are. Because just that term right there, key reselling, is wrong.
Right.
Like a key is to be purchased by is purchased by somebody and it's their property. You're not supposed to be able to resell it. I mean, it's stated in the terms of service for Steam at least.
Yep, it's in the usually license agreement. You cannot resell it.
Right.
because it's essentially it's really not your property. It's still the company's property. They're leasing you
Yeah,
access.
yeah, you get your leased access, and this is your access code.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope they get their just dues. I don't. I mean, I can go on with about these guys for ages because this is the type of people I can't stand.
Right.
It's just because, like I said, I mean, there's people out there, and we know one like Mount Lover. He's a developer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if he spends hours, days, months, years developing a game, and somebody's just making 100% profit off his work, he's not seeing anything. That's just not the way it should work.
No, not at all. I agree 100%. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on from these guys. Hopefully, they get what they deserve here in the near future. But we have our next story. And Boogie, yeah, go ahead and take this one. What do we have?
Okay, so Valve has implemented a new tactic to kind of put a kibosh on DOTA Smurfs. If you're unfamiliar with what Smurfs are, it's a secondary or trial account where users create to play against lower level players. Sometimes to try new characters, sometimes to try new tactics, sometimes just to troll lower skill players.
Right.
But Valve is looking to cut down on those type of accounts, and what they're implementing is attaching a phone number, a valid phone number, with your ranked account. If you don't have a valid phone number on your account, you will not be able to play ranked matches anymore. You have until May 4th to register. You can move that phone number across multiple accounts, but there is a three-month waiting period for each move.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, you can move the account. You do it on May, and then in June you move it. You won't be able to move it. Excuse me. You add the account in May. You won't be able to move it until August. And then if you move it, you won't be able to move it again until November. And this is a way, again, for them to try to cut down on Smurf accounts.
Now, while I do think that this is a good idea, valid phone numbers, that's gonna be the kicker here, because there are so many ways to get phone numbers.
Yeah, it is.
With these like apps, like God, I can't like I don't know. It's just like the voice over IP apps that just like issue you a phone number and it works like a phone number. So are these going to be phone numbers that are through legit service providers? Like maybe like only like, you know, I don't know. Like how are they going to manage that?
Well, they're saying that online services that provide phone numbers are not allowed. So, okay. And you know, me being in the telecom industry, I do know phone numbers are assigned to companies. Right. So a company, let's say AT&T, they'll get a block of phone numbers, and when they assign that number is registered with the FCC, and they know that that's an AT&T number. Right.
So I did similar stuff when I worked for Comcast. When you want to bring somebody over to your company, they have to first cancel their service with the other one. They have to like issue some kind of notice that says that they're going to relinquish the rights to that number over to the new company. It's a whole process. And yeah, because that was my only worry. Like, you know, there's like I don't know what's going on, but I've been getting mass like spam phone calls from like these like non-numbers. Bots. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like just bots. And like, I really hope that doesn't become the thing where you know, instead of, you know, just massive like, you know, multiple accounts, you just have like this wave of like, you know, fake phone numbers with accounts attached to them.
There have to be valid phone numbers. I mean, so the most ingenious of the ones that want to keep their Smurf accounts, they're figured out. You know, use my mom's number. Use my brother. My brother doesn't play.
Okay, yeah.
They don't play. They can use those numbers, but it's going to be a lot harder to have Smurf accounts. I mean, I've known people that's had 6, 7, 8, and not in Dota, but in other games, 6, 7, 8 Smurf accounts where, you know, they get in just, and I know there's one guy, he would just have Smurf accounts just to troll. Yeah. So he played lower level players and just to troll people. And this was in what game was it? It was a PC game. It was years ago. But that's what he do. I was like, why do you use this account? Oh, he said, this is my low level account. I just like to troll people.
Yeah, and I mean some people use it to like actually like game in video games too. Like like in Call of Duty, if you have like a low level account and you get into a high level room and you just like massacre everybody, then you know you boost or whatever. Right. I don't know. But
And
yeah.
I do know there's legitimate reason. I know there's some professional players
Mm-hmm.
that have secondaries or what they call Smurf accounts, but they usually have them because they want to play anonymously. They want to get in the game and just play without being hassled by their fame or their celebrity.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I get you. I get you with that.
So I mean, those are fine, but like you said, those people that are just use them to boost people or anything like that, boost their lower level friends and stuff like that. I mean, it's just not the way it's supposed to be played, and apparently Valve believes that's not the way they want their games played. It'll be interesting to see if this spills over to other games. As as we've been saying for the past year, I guess, esports is definitely a growing and growing and growing.
Right.
I wonder if it's going to move over to some of those other games that are prevalent in the esports scenes. Games like Street Fighters and your Overwatches and your Rainbow Six Siege and stuff like that have serious competitive play.
Yeah, I mean, because even like Mount Lover over at the new Challenger Discord, they have a process where they have to go through and like weed out Smurf accounts, from coming into the local tournaments and
Right.
just taken over, because at first they weren't really giving away any kind of like prizes or anything, but they actually have prizes and rewards for winners. So it's been a struggle for him. I talked to him recently. He said he has to allocate like at least a good like 45 minutes into like checking every single player, making sure that the player is like registered with their CFN. And that's the one that's registered to the Discord, and going through, they have to go back and check their fighting history or whatever, because for certain tournaments you have to be below a certain threshold. Like it's a beginner tournament, so if you are like, let's say you're like a gold player and you want to get in the tournament and you just like lose a few matches so that you are in the threshold, and then you go in and destroying everybody. Like, no, we'll look through your history. We can see that you were gold like yesterday, and that you just lost like 15 matches in a row, so that you can get into the tournament. Like that's actually happened, and it happened in a tournament that I played in a while ago. Yeah, like back in their first season. I wanted to play that guy so bad. I was like, yo, I'm gonna kick his ass. Like, let me play. They were like, no, get him out of here. So they had to boot him out. But yeah, it's an actual thing, and I think that going with phone numbers was probably the best idea, because going with emails is like you can make up an email any day.
Quick, yeah. Getting a phone number is harder to do. It's harder to get a phone number. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be one Dota dude in the basement with about 50 burner phones with all his phones, but
yeah, that just shows how far people are willing to go to either just like cheat or troll. It's like, and I don't understand where that kind of like mindset comes from. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand it.
I never will. I mean, it's just people. People are just messed up.
People just messed up. Words from the wise, up jump the boogie. But yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. But let's go ahead and move on to our next story, and I think I will take this one because it actually applies to me in
right up your alley,
some way, shape, or form. So Twitch just announced recently that they're going to be rolling out a new program that allows for non-partnered streamers to earn money using their bit system. If you don't know what bits are, it's basically you pay real money to get a certain amount of bits, and then you use those bits to donate to your favorite streamers.
Right. You tip the streamer.
You tip the streamers using bits.
Yep. You can also earn bits by watching advertisements in Twitch.
Right.
Watching a 30-second ad earns you a certain amount of bits.
Right. So you can gain bits and use them to tip your favorite streamers. And until just recently, only partnered Twitch streamers were able to receive bits from their viewers. But with this new program, what it's going to allow you to do is if you're not partnered, if you meet a certain threshold, which we'll have listed in the description. I'm not going to go through everything that you need, but if you meet that certain threshold, you can become what they are calling a Twitch associate. So you're not actually partnered, but you will be able to receive bits. And I think that this is actually really cool because with them opening up the floodgates with this, it kind of like propels you. It gives you the opportunity to become partnered if if you're successful enough.
Exactly.
So I believe I meet the qualifications. There's going to be emails going out to people that meet the requirements really soon, and then you'll be able to just jump in and become a Twitch associate, and that's nothing but good news in my opinion. What do you think?
I agree. It makes it easier. I mean, what I like, it brings down the level. Right. So before it was just like all of the high earners playing all of the popular games, your Dota players, your Street Fighter players, your League of Legends players, all of those streamers were getting all the money while everybody else that's playing other games that are more niche were being left out in the cold. And I mean, there's people that watch streams that aren't very popular, but they like it because they're games that they like to play and watch, and they like the personality.
Yeah. And there has always been other ways to donate, through like other like third party like websites or programs, but this is nothing but a good thing in my opinion.
Yeah, bring it in the house makes it easy, especially the fact that viewers can earn. They don't necessarily have to spend any money. They can earn it by watching a 30-second commercial. I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, I'll let a 30-second commercial run while I go grab me a drink or get something to eat.
Yeah.
To earn my bits, that's fine.
Give me some bits, and it also incentivizes turning off that ad blocker too.
Yep, absolutely.
You turn off ad blocker so that when an ad runs on your favorite streamer's channel, not only are you getting bits, but you're getting bits that you can give back to that person.
Give back to that person, right?
So,
that's right.
So I think
ad blockers off.
Yeah. Make sure you got ad blockers off. No, but I think this is a fantastic idea, and we'll see how successful it is, because right now, in order to become partnered, like you need like some ridiculous amount of like viewers, hours per week. When you stream, it's crazy. It's crazy, and they do make it a little easier if you're already a YouTube partner, but still, like, those requirements are kind of ridiculous in themselves if you're not a full-time streamer.
Right.
So Twitch Associates is definitely a awesome idea, and hopefully we'll be earning some bits. I can put a little icon on the side here, and while the podcast is going to be get some bits. That'd be cool. I would put that in the little in like the little corner, like right underneath your name, because like there's like add-ons where you can have like a bit monitor or whatever, and every time somebody donates, it like drops a few like coins or whatever into a bucket. It's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, every time I see that, I'm like, oh, that's cool. I wish I had that. But showing some love to the smaller streamers, the ones that can't stream as often, showing some love to those guys. That's what's gonna make people stay on Twitch rather than going to something like Beam or YouTube Gaming. That's what's gonna make people stay, is when they show everybody love, not just the high earners, not just the ones,
top 1%, the 1%ers.
Yeah, just spread the love, man.
That's it.
It's plenty of money. It doesn't all need to go to Maximilian Dew. Not all. He doesn't need all. He doesn't need all the money.
That's right.
But yeah, so I thought that was a really cool story. And I guess we can go ahead and move on to our next one. What do we got?
Microsoft is detailing, and they've actually released to Xbox One insiders their next update, coming to the Xbox UI, and a lot of this update are quality of life things. My personal favorite, I'm so glad. If you're an LFG player and LFG players looking for group, you get in there, you look for random groups to go raid in, play Overwatch, what have you. Once you party up now, there's an overlay to show you who's talking.
Ooh,
it's amazing.
That's dope.
It's the greatest thing. That's the update of the year right now. There's nothing better. it shows you can. What's cool about it? You can change the transparency. You can move it to anywhere on the screen, anywhere the edges, top left, top right, bottom left, or the bottom middle, top middle. So you can see when anybody talks, it lights up. If there's more than one person talking at a time, it lights up everybody that's talking. It's pretty awesome. Dope. It's pretty good. They also added Killer Instinct tournaments. Remember Xbox with the last update, the last major update, they added the arena, Xbox Arena, where you can do tournaments. They're adding Killer Instinct to it.
You can basically just set up your own tournament and run it.
Right out of the Xbox UI without having to use third-party apps or going to a website or anything like that.
Right. Oh God, man, this dude. Just think, like I remember back in the 360 days, me and my boys were playing Gears of War. We had to go to this website. It's MLG.com. We had to go to the website and then like type in our name and do all that and sign up for the tournament, and then like, okay, well I won this one, so let me like double click here, make sure that I post it. It was a freaking mess, and it just shows how far we've come, and how Microsoft is definitely trying to just streamline some of these more complicated features.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice. That party overlay is so long overdue. You have no idea how over. I mean, me playing Destiny, I've LFG forever, and people will be talking. When you're doing a raid, everybody has a specific job they need to do, and you have like, I'm doing this. See, me personally, I speak in the third party. You ever play with me on live? You hear me talking on live is because of this. You always hear me speaking to third parties like. Boogie's got left. I always say it because you get in the party, be like, I got left. Like, who the hell are you?
Where is your left as opposed to my left?
Right.
Yeah, I get you.
So yeah, that party chat overlay is amazing. They've also streamlined the looking for group. Before you have to go into the game hub, and then after the game hub, you go over to the LFG to post. Now you can post through activity feed or through a message. You can unfollow a club or game hub directly from your activity feed. You can your avatar will show your tournament history and if you have any upcoming tournaments. You can follow you in the room or locate you automatically, not follow you. So if you're streaming on Twitch or Beam and you're maybe off center, the Connect will automatically find you and center you. There's some filter posts for the Xbox Live, for the app, the iOS and Android app, and some other small features, tweaks they didn't really detail. I'll have to go to the because it wasn't anything on it today, but I have to go into the insider forum to see what's in there. But like I said, once I saw that party overlay, that's it right there.
Yeah,
that's all I needed. The party overlay is amazing.
That sounds dope. I wish I turned on my Xbox. You know what? The reason I haven't been playing Xbox is my girlfriend's been playing it. I've been playing more PC games because, like, when I'm sitting in my chair over here, my girlfriend, she's sitting on the couch over there, and she's on, man. She's been gaming. she's playing like more single player games, but
she's getting into that Last of Us. Yeah. I should start it too because I just got it a couple of weeks ago when it was on sale.
Yeah, she's gonna have a great time. She actually watched me play most of it back when I played it on the PlayStation 3. But I feel like she's ready, and this game brings the feel. So I might stream it because I'm sure she's gonna cry. she's a sucker for that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah. There's some elements in us because I had it for PS3 and I got maybe a third of the way and I just never finished it.
I can't. Oh man, that is disheartening right there. I can't believe you didn't finish that game.
I just moved on. I don't even know. I have a problem with the PlayStation controller. It's a personal problem I have.
I can understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, but yeah, man. I think
this go ahead.
It's not a major update, but some of the tweaks and ads that they had into this are. Look, listen. If they would have gave me the party overlay before they gave me Beam streaming, I would have been happy because I like the party overlay more than I like the Beam stream.
Yeah, but dude, this is just all goes to what I've been saying. They are future proofing. They are future proofing the Xbox, man.
They're trying their best.
They're trying their best. They just the games, my boys, games. We need some games.
Please give me something more than multi-plats.
Yeah.
I mean, if I could get it everywhere, like you said, you're an Xbox, you're an X bot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't consider myself an X bot. I primarily play Xbox One, and it's mainly because, like I said, it's two reasons: because of the controller, and unlike the however many millions of people that scream when Xbox said they're going to be the one box for everything, I use it for everything, for watching TV, all my streams, ESPN, I cast news. I do everything on it. I mean, I don't have a cable box on it. I have everything, all my apps and streams to it. The stuff that I don't have a direct app to, I'm actually just cast to it. It just works, and I like it that way. I'm okay with it that way. And it's the PlayStation that doesn't do that for me.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just the most people that I should say used to play with, because I'm pretty sure I've rested in peace on a lot of people's friends list over the last few months. But for the majority, a lot of the people that I play online games with are on Xbox, just because I've had Xbox Live and all of the consoles. So. That's just where I play. If it's multi-platform, and it all comes down to this. This was an excellent question that a GameStop representative asked me when I went to go purchase. I think it was Mafia 3, and I wasn't sure what console to get it for. He was like, "Look, man, do you want trophies or achievements?" And I was like, "Achievements." like there's no question. I mean, I would like to add to my gamer score rather than get some trophies. I mean, so if it's multi-platform, I'm most likely going to get it on the Xbox One. But PlayStation has been killing it with those exclusives, and we need some from Xbox. We need some exclusives.
Something. Yeah.
But nice. That was our top 5 news stories. Let us know what you guys think about the stories that we covered in the comment sections. Do you agree with our opinions? Do you disagree? If so, that is your time to put in your input. We would definitely like to see it. And before we move on to our next segment, I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, the Street Fighter New Challenger Discord. If you head on over to newchallenger.gg, you can get tons and tons of Jesus Christ. You right there?
Yeah.
Tons and tons of information regarding Street Fighter 5, including coaching from some of the top premier coaches in the beginner and intermediate scene. These guys were also covered on Eurogamer, so they're legit. Go ahead and head on over to newchallenger.gg. They are actually doing a t-shirt sale. So let me see if I probably should have brought this up on the screen before, but I'm not even going to try. Anyway, go to newchallenger.gg. They are selling t-shirts, and all proceeds are going to go to sending our top players to Evo. So you'll definitely be you'll get a nice cool t-shirt, and you'll be sending some of the players to Evo. So it's definitely a good cause. I already ordered my t-shirt, and I'll try to get some pictures up here before we shout them out again. But yeah, definitely head on over. If you're new at Street Fighter, if you want to test your abilities, this is definitely the place for you. Tons of information, tons of resources, and the Discord is lively, it is active, and it is robust. So go over there and give those guys a shout out. Mr. Vinegar is one of the co-founders and organizers, and Mount Lover, our good friend, is a commentator as well as a coach for a little under half of the cast. So definitely head on over there. Those guys definitely deserve all of the support that they can get. That's newchallenger.gg. So with that said, we can go ahead and move on to our next segment, which is the quick hits. And for all of the stories that we come across for the week, the ones that we either come up with or are submitted through you guys, the ones that don't get, the top 5 treatment, which we go deep diving in, they end up in our quick hit section. So we're going to go through, we have a few stories that we want to bring to you guys' attention and just give like a quick synopsis on. And so let's go ahead and start off with the first story. What do we have?
Okay, Microsoft announced their Fan Fest at E3 in 2017 this year. They actually announced it last week. They kind of made a gaffe
Mhm.
because you were supposed to register for tickets last week on Wednesday the 19th. There was
Oh
some kind of
Lord.
confusion, and
Oops.
so they kicked all those registrations out, and all those are now voided and canceled. The people that registered or went in and registered, they got something in their email as a token of Microsoft's gratitude.
Hmm.
If you do want to try to get into the Xbox Fan Fest at E3, the registration actually opens this Wednesday at 9 p.m. Pacific. That's 12 p.m. noon. There's 400 tickets that'll be available.
That's not a
Um,
lot.
Yep. You need to be 21 years or older. You need a credit card to hold your ticket. And if you're one of the lucky first 400 to get selected, you can go into the Fan Fest at E3 and play some up close personal experience with Microsoft's stuff they're going to be showing. And I'm hoping, I would think they're going to have first chance to get your hands on Project
That
Scorpio.
Scorpio. Yeah.
And the event is in June. It's June 13th, or Tuesday, June 13th.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I take that back. It starts Sunday, June 11th, and goes through Tuesday, June 13th.
Okay. Cool. Oh yeah. So anybody that any fellow Xbots out there, go ahead and sign up. That sounds like it's gonna be a good time.
It looks interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
if I was out in that area, I would try to go, but I'm not going that way.
We're not doing that. Anyway, next on the list, 3 classic characters are going to be coming to Super or Bomberman R. Is it Super Bomberman R? Super Bomberman R for the Switch. Yeah. Those characters include Simon Belmont from the Castlevania series.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. You know, classic Castlevania character. We have Pyramid Head from the Silent Hill franchise. I don't know why Konami would want to bring up Silent Hill after that whole fiasco.
Exactly.
But then we also have Vic Viper from the Gradius series. So 3 classic characters from classic Konami series will be represented in the Super Bomberman R video game. This is a Switch exclusive, and from what I've heard, it's probably one of the most fun launch titles that isn't Zelda. Honestly.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Bomberman. I played Mega Bomberman on the Genesis when I was younger, and I remember they had the Bomberman Live video games on the 360, the arcade games. Oh man, I played the hell out of those. That was like my fall. That's where I kind of coined the term fallback game, because it would be me, Manuel, Rose, everybody playing like either like Halo or Gears of War or whatnot, and then once we got done with that, it was Bomberman time, and oh man,
time to let off steam.
Let off some steam. Yeah.
Those Gears games, man. Those things got pretty intense.
Yeah, they got pretty intense, man. I wish I was streaming back then, but I wasn't. But yeah. So I think this is really cool. I don't know if they're are they going to be DLC characters? Or are they going to be?
It's a title update.
And yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it's a title update. And it's just free. So with the new patch, they'll just become available, which is really cool. I mean, these especially Silent Hill and Castlevania, these are 2 franchises that are probably to be honest, they're probably dead. We're probably not going to see anything from those. I mean, I became a huge Castlevania fan after going back and playing the original long time ago with Mount Lover. So and then I also played the Lords of Shadow series. I would love to see a new Castlevania. I just love that whole like mythology.
Well, at least we do have the Castlevania show on Netflix coming up, right?
Oh, true that. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Hopefully it doesn't blow like Iron Fist. Oops.
I am the Iron Fist.
Oops. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on. What's the next one?
So, Star Wars Battlefront 2 Season Pass that wasn't is. So, apparently, one of the creative director, Bern Dierner, said in a interview or a report with Mashable that they're not going to have a Season Pass.
Right. And we praised them on the podcast for that.
Yeah, people would loved it because the way the season pass worked on the original Battlefront, it really fragmented the community. It really fragmented the game. So I mean, I had the original because I wasn't sure if I would really like it, and I'm glad I only bought the $60 version because I didn't really like it.
Dude, I think they had like a 60, a 90, and like a $150 version of that game.
Yep.
Like at launch. I'm like, Jesus.
It's because it's Star Wars, so EA is trying to recoup that licensing fee.
True that.
So, but yeah, I wasn't a big fan. So, it fragmented the community, and so what he was trying to say, or what is let me not try to put words in his mouth. So the next EA comes back out and says, yeah, no, there's going to be DLC. There's going to be a season pass. And their statement specifically reads, we're not ready to confirm any live service plans. We can say that when we hear feedback from our community loud and clear, we know they want more depth, progression, and content, so we're focused on delivering that in every dimension of Star Wars Battlefront 2. And they're going to make an announcement soon. But essentially, EA is definitely they didn't quite debunk that there's not. They didn't quite say there was going to be a season pass, but what they seems like they're saying there's going to be additional paid content.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's no way that there's not going to be like additional DLC for the game. It's just not. And that's kind of what we said in the previous podcast, is that it won't be packaged as a season pass. It'll still be there. It's just they won't package it as a season pass.
What I got out of the fan reaction to this is that, great, we're going to get all of the game content, and there'll be microtransactions that are not relevant to the game.
Yeah,
almost like all the rage, the loot boxes, Overwatch and Destiny, and
it'll just be like cosmetic stuff.
Right. So that's what it seemed like people were hoping for. And it seems like EA may be doing that, but they still may add additional content.
Right. Like different content packs, like different maps, characters. I didn't play Star Wars Battlefront, and I'm probably not going to play this one either.
Right.
So
I like Star Wars. I tend to like Star Wars games. Battlefront is not a bad game. It just felt to me as a Battlefield 4 reskin.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it felt to me. I just didn't like that feeling. It's just Star Wars skins on Battlefield.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. EA was just really quick to just like backpedal, like, wait, that's not necessarily the case, you know?
Right. Exactly.
I feel like DICE was probably really proud of the fact that they're doing that and wanted to get that news out, but EA was like, wait a second, we want that money.
Slow your roll.
Slow your roll. Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Next on our quick hits, the PS4 Slim, and I thought that they stopped calling it the Slim. I thought this was just the PS4 now. I don't know.
This is on the PlayStation tweet. They refer to it as the Slim.
Yeah, they refer to it as the Slim. So I don't know, but the current version of the PS4, so not the PS4 Pro, is getting an upgrade in its hard drive space. So starting when? When is it going on sale?
This month. Arriving on store shelves this month.
So this month you'll be able to get a 1 terabyte PS4 for $299.99. So $300 you can get a 1 terabyte PS4 Slim.
So essentially what Sony did is they used up all of their stock of 500 gigabyte hard drives, and now they're just shipping the PS4s with 1 terabyte hard drives.
Right. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call this an upgrade. If you got the PS4 Slim, you probably already ran out of space, and you probably already have an external.
Right. There's no need for anybody to go run out and buy this if you already have a PlayStation 4. This is for people that don't have a PlayStation 4 now. When they get their PlayStation 4, they're getting it with 1 terabyte.
Right. Yeah, so not much more to say about it, honestly.
Nope. I agree.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with myself. So let's let's go ahead and move on to our final quick hit. And Boogie, I'll let you take this one.
Excuse me.
It's all good.
Call of Duty World War II has been confirmed. There's going to be a live stream reveal on the 26th. I think we talked about this a few weeks back.
Yep.
There was a YouTuber that broke the news that the new Call of Duty would be World War II, and it has now been confirmed with the live stream going up on Wednesday.
And the thing is, I thought that when they said it was going to be World War II, like it was going to be World War II themed, not called Call of Duty World War II. I think that's a stupid name.
Right. I think the last World War II game that Call of Duty did, I think it was by Sledgehammer, World at War, was horrible. That was horrible. It was a horrible game. It was terrible. It was horrible.
Yeah, but with everybody raging about how good Battlefield 1 is and how, going back to the older generations of wars or whatever, getting away from space, this is probably the farthest that they can get away from Advanced Warfare. But who's making this game?
I believe it's Sledgehammer.
Sledgehammer?
Or is it Treyarch? I forget now.
Dude, I don't even. Dude,
it's Sledgehammer.
Sledgehammer. Okay.
Yeah. I will say this: the way Battlefield games are, with the huge, expansive battlefields, with the implanted weapons, the vehicles, the way the game plays in the flow, it actually fits the large-scale battles of World War I or World War II. The way Call of Duty plays, fast-paced, quick shoot 'em, quick drops, it doesn't fit that particular theater. So, the original Call of Duty 2 that was in World War II, it fit because it was a slower-paced game.
Yeah, Call of Duty has become freaking fast-paced shooter, like on freaking steroids, and with all of the mobility that has come with the more recent releases, like the wall jumping, the freaking boosts and slides and all that. It's just made that game that much faster. With them going back to World War II, it's going to be like playing in slow motion.
Yeah, it's going to step back. I don't see. I know the core fans want it more the same. I don't think this is the answer.
No,
Call of Duty should have went back to Modern Warfare, not necessarily World War II, and away from Infinity Warfare's Future War.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, we'll see. I've been off of Jesus, bless you. What I was saying is I've been off of Call of Duty games since Modern Warfare 3. That was the last one that I purchased, and I think I may have played Black Ops 2. I think that was the last one that I played, but the last one that I purchased was Modern Warfare 3, and I haven't really felt the itch to get back into these games at all, honestly.
Yeah. I did Infinity Warfare. I never played actually I take that back. I played 2 matches of multiplayer and I threw up in my mouth. But I did enjoy the single player campaign. I thought it was interesting. It was fun to play. Some of the game mechanics and what they did, some of the set pieces, it was fun. But yeah, this was my first Call of Duty since Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not looking forward to it. Not because just because I'm not a fan. I haven't been a fan of the franchise in a long time, so I won't be picking it up. And for anybody who's a fan of Call of Duty and has been waiting for them to go back to quote unquote their roots. This may be the game for you. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
But, as somebody who hasn't played in a long time, this news does not faze me in the slightest.
Yep. Well, there's a reveal coming out on Wednesday, 2 days from now. So we'll probably wind up talking about it again next week in some form or fashion.
Yeah. We'll analyze the trailer. No, we're not going to do that. We'll become those guys. No. But
no.
Yeah, so that was our quick hits. Yeah, just a few stories that we wanted to bring to you guys' attention and, give our little 2 cents on. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. We are on Twitter, Facebook. Leave the comments in the comment section on YouTube. Anywhere that you are consuming this media, give us feedback. We would greatly appreciate it. And with that, we can go ahead and move on to the long form discussion. And this week, we're going back and we're going to tackle one of our
Tekken Gaming, Tekken Gaming. That's what
Tekken Gaming, is that what they're called?
That's what we're gonna call it.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna call it. I think we change the name every single week.
Yeah.
every time we do it, yeah. Every time we do this, we change the name. So it's called Tekken Gaming. Previously we did evolution of controllers. Right. We also did the evolution of multiplayer gaming
and connected play. Yeah,
and connected play. Yeah,
wireless. We did the wireless. So this week we're going to talk about the evolution of game media. Mm-hmm. When we talk about game media, we're not talking about media outlets such as ourselves or NeoGaf or Kotaku. No. We're talking about.
We definitely not talking about Kotaku. No, I'm just kidding.
we're talking about how the games are delivered to you.
Right.
For you to play them. I mean, originally games were delivered on ROM cards. And they were super small. I mean, NES were around 1 megabit, 1 megabyte, right?
It's crazy to think about.
I mean, there were some small ones. I mean, 1 megabyte, less than a megabyte. And as the games got bigger, more advanced. You got to the Genesis, they went up to about 5. SNES
with the 16-bit era, yeah.
Yep. N64 was up to 64. But I think what was the largest game? 4 gigabyte 3DS game, Resident Evil Revelation. But essentially, the cartridges or the game ROMs, they went out of favor because of price. It's just too expensive.
Yeah, it became very expensive, and Nintendo took a very big risk, and they took a very big hit by sticking with cartridges when everybody was moving on to disc-based systems with the Nintendo 64.
Nintendo 64, they kind of got left behind. That was the beginning of that's probably part of the reason that spurred on the rise of the PlayStation. Because when Nintendo was still on cartridges with their limited ROM space, Sony had moved on to, and even Sega for that point with the Sega CD and followed up with the Sega Saturn.
Yeah.
Even though it was a disaster, they didn't follow up.
Two very big mistakes.
Yeah, with CDs and CD-ROMs gave a ton of space for a very low price, relatively in that era. And I remember when I got the PlayStation, my very first PlayStation, and I got the disc. I just thought, the game. I remember the game. It was the NBA game, and it was my first 3D game experience. I was like, I was just like, this is amazing.
Yeah,
this is amazing. I
didn't get into CDs until the Dreamcast. That was my first CD-based console. I stuck around with Nintendo for a while. I got the because I was a Sega fanboy with the Dreamcast, and then I also had the 64 at the time, so I had both. And then when the Dreamcast died, I just went with Nintendo from there on out with like the GameCube and all that.
Right. So yeah, I had a 64. I even had the little expansion card thing.
Yeah, I think it came with certain games.
It came with I came with Star Wars, I believe. The one I had.
I believe mine came with Perfect Dark or something.
I'm pretty sure it came with Star Wars. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's a long time ago.
Yeah, long time ago. I know it came with Donkey Kong too.
Yeah, I had that, but once I started playing the CD-based games, it was no going back to the card-based, right? Because you can really tell the difference. And the limitation wasn't necessarily the primary graphics. The limitations you saw was in the backgrounds.
Yeah.
When you saw like something like Super Mario World, and it's just Mario and nothing else, but then when you played Crash Bandicoot or something, the game was just much livelier.
Yeah, and there had to be like lots of like tricks and things to manipulate how things loaded in and out of the screen. Right. Just like video games were made based off on the limitations of the hardware, and like just going back to cartridge based for a second with the NES. Supposedly the largest game on the NES was Kirby Adventure, but I know for a fact that when because I read it, but back when games were being made and you had games like Castlevania, um, which in itself isn't a very long game, but the time that you put in it is brought about with difficulty. They made the game hard as hell, so that it takes you a while to beat the game because the games were small. They didn't have a lot of space on those cartridges, and like even with the Super Nintendo, they had to implement little tricks like the FX chip to kind of just like expand the amount of memory that can be used.
That could be, yep.
Yeah, so.
And a lot of recycle assets. Recycle assets.
Sound effects, like everything. Yep. Anything to reduce that the file size. Anything to reduce it, they were doing it.
Yeah, and I mean there was a benefit to the cartridge. I always no load times, instant on, instant off. That was the best. That was the greatest benefit to cartridge.
Press start to play.
That's it.
I remember. I love those times.
No loading screen. No spinning circles. No infinite elevator rides. If you're a Mass Effect fan, I'm talking about.
Man, I thought you were talking about Dead Space 3.
Oh, I didn't play Dead Space 3. Had to.
I know it was in garbage, man.
It was in Portal as well, right? The infinite elevators.
Yeah. Crazy.
But yeah, that was great. But eventually, cartridges had to go because as the games matured, the developers wanted to put more and more into the games, and they had to increase the capacity.
Right.
And that's what moved us to the disc-based systems, right? It started with CDs on PlayStation and Dreamcast and Sega Saturn, and it eventually moved to DVDs.
Right.
Excuse me, I'm
dying over there.
It eventually moved on to CDs and DVDs, and I think once it hit DVDs, DVDs were kind of a sweet spot.
I believe so as well.
Well, it wasn't too big, wasn't too small. It still had pretty quick rewrite.
Yeah.
And the games became more advanced. I mean, when you're looking at DVD, you're looking at your PlayStation 2 games, and your Xbox original
OG Xbox games,
and even Xbox 360, right? So I mean, those games. I mean, you look at games around those eras. You look at your Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3s, Resident Evil 4s. You're looking at stuff like Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto
San Andreas,
Vice City, San Andreas, Liberty City. You're looking at those games. Those games were on the disc, and the load times were manageable, and they were expansive and full of life.
Yeah. Right now with Blu-rays, I feel like we've gotten to a place where these games are so large and they're so massive and they're so expansive and there's so much detail that when you encounter a load screen, like you can't help but just sit there and take that load time, because like a lot of people may not know this, but the physical discs on your current gen consoles aren't being read by the console at all.
No. There's no the rewrite time on a Blu-ray disc are not fast enough to render games in real time.
It's
not enough.
I kind of wish that wasn't the case, man. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, you only can spin a disc so fast and have that laser track so fast, because the problem with the Blu-ray disc is it's the same size, so all the data is ultra compressed. If you think about it, the disc is the same size as a DVD, thickness and diameter, right? Where DVD was 4.7 gigs, you got 25 gigabytes of data. So you got 5 times as much data in the same space, essentially.
Yeah.
So when you need that precise movement, and it just can't read fast. It just can't move fast. It's physically not possible.
Yeah.
If you wanted to read off the disc, it'd be load times would be like unbearable. unbearable. So, eventually they
Shit, for
had
some
to
games, it's already unbearable, even with how it's working right now. Jesus Christ.
they had to move into the installation and playing it off of hard drives.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And then with Nintendo, with the Switch, they've reverted to Flash media instead.
and Flash media is fairly amazing because it's just basically on off, right? It's essentially ROM, but it's just a super fast version of ROM.
Right.
And I think that's a good move by them. My concern is that the cartridges are so small; they're going to get lost. Somebody
Dude.
lost their Zelda already.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm almost certain somebody lost their Zelda
Somebody lost it already, but
under the couch, in between the cushions.
it got vacuumed up.
Vacuumed up. Oh God.
But I mean, there's a price to be paid, but the rewrite speeds on Flash Media are just amazing. And it's cheap now. It's not super expensive like it used to be. I mean, I remember just a few years ago getting a 64 gigabyte memory card for my camera cost me $100. Now I can get a 64 gigabyte memory card for $20.
Or less, depending on the brand.
I mean,
you get a couple terabytes for $100.
Right. It's just going. The prices are going lower and lower, and using Flash media, I think, is good because it definitely kills or cuts on the load time significantly.
Yeah.
Because even if you're using your hard drive is still spinning and there's rewrite access. There's just access. It's got to go up and down the disk. On the different layers, usually about 4 layers of disk in a hard drive, so it's got to read off of all of those disks. It just takes a while to find the data, piece it together, and put it on your screen. It just takes a while. Even if you're using a SSD drive, it still takes a while.
I'm gonna call it here. If we get a truly next generation of consoles, they'll probably take the same step as Nintendo and go with Flash media. I feel like that's the logical step.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? I think Microsoft might. Sony might not, because they pioneered Blu-rays, and they probably want to make sure that it doesn't go obsolete or anything. But I just feel like it just works. It works so much better than Blu-rays.
I think
for gaming.
I think this media will stay, and I'll tell you why. Movies.
Yeah.
Until they start delivering movies physically different, the games are going to stay on disc media.
Well, I mean, you already have like digital movies. Like a lot of times when you when you buy the Blu-ray, it comes with the digital copy.
Right. So, and this goes back to
a lot of people are streaming these days.
Right. This goes back to some of our other discussions too, because there's a significant portion of, just here in the United States, significant portion of people that use that have to use media because they don't have reliable internet access.
Right.
So they have to use this. They would love to stream, but they're streaming in 480 because they're getting maybe 2 megs of internet speed.
Oh God, 480. Oh.
So
blurry. How did we even do that? I don't understand how my eyes were even able to do that back in the day. I was going through some of my old videos on my YouTube channel, and the resolution was at 4. I'm like, how were people even able to see this? It's not. I need 2 pairs of glasses on to like make it clear.
Make it clear, right?
Yeah, crazy.
Blurry and hard edges.
Those jaggies.
Yeah, but yeah. So I mean, as long as that type of entertainment, when you look at your movies, even music, as long as it's still disc based, I think gaming will stay disc based. As long, I think with the Nintendo Switch, and the reason it makes a lot of sense for them to go to Flash is because
of the portability.
It's a portable system, right?
True
so
that.
you get a big disc. It takes up a lot of space, uses a lot of battery. Just XPSP about this UMDs and the battery. 20 minutes of battery life. So that's where that's very useful for Nintendo. But as a home box that's going to be sitting in your living room and not moving anywhere, is going to have a disc, especially when they want it to be the home theater system, right? Or part of the home theater. I mean, if you look at what Microsoft has been doing with adding all of the Dolby and the DTS and the 4K and all of that. They wanted to be part of your home theater system. So it's, as long as that's where they want it to be, it's going to be disc-based.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think I just think for gaming it just makes more sense. I mean, I understand like as a entertainment media, you know, what's the word I'm looking for entertainment media. I don't know the word I'm looking for, but in terms of all types of media, movies, music, you know, the disc, it's gonna be the disc. I mean, we've had about like what 2 or 3 different format wars over what kind of discs we're gonna be using. So
VHS, Betamax. Then there was DVD. There was nothing that fought with DVD, was there? No,
it was DVDs, and then we had the HD DVD versus Blu-ray.
Yeah.
So we had a couple of format wars to decide what kind of disc we're going to use. So I'm not saying that they're going to go away or that discs need to go away. I'm just saying, like, for console gaming, I think flash media is just an optimal source. I just think that it works better. It cuts down on the load times. It just gives people what they want faster. You know, we talked about some of the issues with, you know, playing a new game on your Xbox One or PlayStation 4. You have to, like, if you have the physical disc, you have to download the game to the hard drive, and then you have to download the day one patch or whatever, and then you get in the game and it has to load. It's just a lot.
It takes a lot. It takes a ton, right? Yeah. Just having it on the flash, when you just plug it in, just like I said, plug it in, press start would be optimal.
Press start to play.
I my personal opinion, I like the digital format. It's just download my game, you know, pre-install, day one, I get the 50 meg update, and I'm ready to go, right?
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, but you know, you're playing games on PC, you're not really concerned about load times. Your rig probably takes care of that.
It's taking care of that. I think the optimal thing for home consoles, one that's not going to be portable. So I'm thinking big boxes, Xbox, whatever, PlayStation, whatever, should be optimized to run off of solid state hard drives. Because if it's optimized to run off a solid state hard drive, that's essentially a flash drive. Yeah. And it's just large capacity flash drive. And if it's optimized to run off that, it should be able to cut load times to almost nothing.
Yeah, I agree. But we will see. I mean, electronic game media has evolved in more ways than one. You know, we went through a couple of examples here. So we'll definitely I'm waiting and anticipating to see what the next evolution is going to be, because I really don't think that this is the end all be all. I don't think that I don't think gaming or console gaming is going to settle on Blu-rays.
No, like I said, I think they're really pushing the digital market. I think as we move into the next generation of wireless service, and when I say wireless, I'm talking about cell phone service. This 5G service that's coming up, I think there'll be a bigger push, because the way this next iteration of cell phone service is not necessarily faster, is being made to handle more capacity at farther distances. So they'll be able to use that to reach places that currently don't have necessarily great internet access, that have a wired DSL that's so far away from the central office that they're getting less than 1 megabit of speed. You know, they can actually get a speed decent enough for them to online game and for them to download large files or stream or what have you. As they move, I think as the internet infrastructure matures and progresses, we're gonna start seeing less and less of physical media, and everything is going to be digital.
Yeah. Well, tell that to the people that want to resell their games. Xbox already went through that headache.
But they're not going to have a choice. I mean, if they just start doing it, and this would be your option: buy the game or don't buy the game. And that's just going to be it. Yeah. Right.
No, I agree. I agree.
I would like for it to come with lower prices, but we all know that it won't. Yeah, we all know that it won't. And to be fair, the way it works now, And I think because I researched this on a different story we did.
Mm-hmm.
The way it works now, the reason digital copies are the same price as physical copies is because of retailers.
Yep.
It's basically a contracted deal that says if you're going to make us sell this game for this amount, you got to sell a digital copy for the same amount. You can't undercut me because nobody will come to my store and buy my games.
Right, yeah, because there's been many a case where there's been a game that I knew I was going to buy, and I saw it, at launch, just like $5-10 cheaper on Steam, and I just bought it there just because.
Right. Most times you won't see that unless it's an advertised sale.
It's like some advertised sale, yeah.
Right. And PC games, you see it more. When you look at the console games, you won't see that. A lot of times, you'll see the physical copy on sale with the digital copies at full price.
Right. Yeah, just go to the Xbox Live Marketplace on the 360. Those games are still running at full price over there. I'm like, God dang, dude.
Walk into Best Buy and get it for $15. Walk into GameStop and get it. Yeah, but that's it's just because of the price, the way the publishers and contracted with these retailers to sell the games, which is odd, I guess. I understand.
It's backwards.
Yeah, I understand where the retailers are coming from. I would say this: just don't carry the games or carry digital download cards.
Yeah, I mean, some already do that though.
Yeah, a lot of them do. Yeah, I mean, it's
for certain games.
Yeah, it's no reason for you to have to force people to spend their money when they don't need to. I mean, publishers, and obviously publishers like, okay, we can go with that because it's still more money in their pocket, right? Yeah. Because for them to sell a digital copy versus they will all love to sell digital copies because it costs them nothing.
Yeah, they don't have to worry about like the packaging, the shipping. They don't have to worry about any of that.
They don't have to worry about
warehousing.
Yeah. They just need a server.
I mean, they already cut out the manuals and all that.
Yep.
They don't have to worry about print no more.
They don't even need a huge server. All they need is one copy of the game on one server somewhere that has high-speed internet that can let a million people access it at the same time. It costs them next to nothing to do that. Yep. That's just where it is. But yeah.
I can't find the answer to the question I heard.
Was that?
That was. I don't know who said.
I don't know what triggered that, but that was hilarious.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Wow, I gotta make sure I turn her off, huh?
Yeah, that's all good. That was pretty funny. But yeah, was there anything else you wanted to add?
Well, there's not much else. I mean, what we talked about a while ago, like the size of the games. The games are getting larger and larger.
Yeah.
I mean, right now the largest Blu-ray capacity is BDXL 128 gigs. Mm-hmm. That's the largest you can get. It's like a dual layer disc. I don't know if PlayStation, Xbox can use those particular formats, but that's where it is. I mean, we
triple layer disc, crazy.
Yep. So I don't know. Like I said, I think discs are going to still be around for a little while. Quite a while. Not until the infrastructure is at a point to where everybody has internet fast enough to be able to download and stream this stuff.
Yeah, it's just it would be awesome if that wasn't the case though. If you just move on to Flash media, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I think Nintendo's got that market cornered with the Switch because, like I said, if there's going to be a big box one, sitting in your living room, in your family room, sitting in your entertainment room, it's going to need to be able to play movies, and if you don't have a disc into it, it can be problematic for some people.
True.
Some.
True. Yeah, that was our long form discussion. Let us know what you guys think about it. Do you agree with our stance, or do you have your own opinion? The comment section is open for you to debate us. We want to know what you guys think. Critical thinking over here. We do appreciate any feedback. But let's go ahead and get into the next segment, which is going to be our final thoughts. This is the part of the podcast where we revisit the stories that we spoke to you guys about today, and just kind of give our final 2 cents on the ones that interested us. I'll go first.
Yep.
The May games for gold, I'm not entirely impressed, honestly. Two of the games I've actually played in some capacity. There's only one game that I feel like is worth it, and one that I may try out, and that's the Star Wars games, the Star Wars Complete Saga. That's the only one that I think is actually worth the hard drive space, honestly. Valve cutting down on the Smurfs, nothing but a good thing. And like I said, they probably thought about using emails, but with it's so easy to create a Smurf email account that with phone numbers was definitely the good way to go. I just hope that they don't get bamboozled, or just like, I hope that the abundance of these fake phone accounts doesn't turn this into a minor fix to what I think is a big problem. Hopefully it doesn't turn to that. They can keep it with the actual carriers. Oh yeah, and Twitch expanding with the associates program is nothing but a good thing. Hopefully I meet the criteria, and I'll be activating that so I can put that little jar right next to Boogie's face right there. Just like anytime we get some bits, we could just drop a little bit in there. That'd be really fun to see. So hopefully that's something that comes out soon. Other than that, the classic characters in Super Bomberman R, it's a nice throwback, a nice way to incorporate some older franchises. Konami has been under a lot of heat lately, and I really think that this game is probably the best thing coming out of Konami right now. Boogie is dying, so I'm gonna go ahead and shut up and let him get his final thoughts so we can roll up out of here. Go ahead, what you got?
You didn't have to cut yourself off, man.
Nah, it's all good. That was all I had.
All right. My final thoughts. Same with you. I'm not really impressed with the games for gold. Like I said, I'll download the Lego because my little one likes the Lego games. I might try the platformer, Star Wars Unleashed. Yeah. D2A. They're going to get their comeuppance one way or another.
Just desserts.
Yeah. Valve cutting down on DOTA Smurfs. I like that. I like their plan. I like that they're disallowing online telephone services. I just hope there's other companies, other gaming companies, developers, publishers jump in on that one. I'd like to see the same thing for games like League of Legends and Overwatches and the Street Fighters and stuff like that. Have the same type of something hard to confirm your account, something that's not easily spoofed.
Right.
The Twitch expander who can earn money, that's a win-win for everybody, I think. Like I said, there are a lot of very popular niche players out there. I mean, they don't have millions and millions of followers, but they have a large dedicated set of followers, and for those followers to be able to tip them and help them earn that's outside of like stuff like Patreon and other third parties. That's great.
Right.
The quality of life tweaks on the Xbox One. Oh my gosh. The party chat overlay, that is the greatest thing since sliced bread, in my opinion. Listen, is long overdue. Definitely needed. The three classic characters, I actually didn't get them. The only one I got was Simon Belmont, Pyramid Face, and the Gradius. It doesn't make sense to me. And I think that's about it. I mean, Call of Duty is Call of Duty. Hard drive up.
We'll hear about the next one in about 6 months.
Yeah, hard drive upgrade doesn't mean much to me at this point. It shouldn't mean much to anybody. It's definitely not a system seller at this point. But yeah, that's about all I have. I'm going to go and get the Vicks Vapor Rub and pop over the humidifier and get me some cough drops here. Because, I mean, if you guys have been watching and you see me leaning over, it's because I've probably coughed up my lung. I think my kidneys there, and it's just down there over there for me just coughing like a freaking maniac. But, yeah, that's all I got for tonight.
Yeah, so that was our final thoughts. You can let us know what you guys think. We are on Twitter at AWGamingNS, and we're on Facebook as well, a weekly gaming news show, or you can just type in AWGNS. We're also on YouTube. That is where the archived episodes from the live stream go, as well as Boogie's sideshow, which is the weekly gaming news 10 and 10, which kind of gives you guys a sneak peek into what we're going to be diving deep into on the actual podcast. So make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube page as well. Follow us on our social media and just ask us questions, man. Pick our brains. We would love to interact with you guys. And, if you like what you see here, share it with a friend. You got a friend that's into podcasts, into critical thinking about games. Share us. We would love to interact with you guys. Yep. Other than that, I mean, if you're listening to us, we definitely want to, say thank you as well. And Boogie, why don't you let them know where they can actually hear us?
We are on iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn Radio, any of your podcatching apps, what's it called, Overcast or iTunes Podcaster or any of those apps, or even for Xbox One, the Cast app. We're on there. You can search us a Weekly Gaming News Show or AWGNS. Please go to iTunes, go to Google Play, leave us some feedback, rate our show. Leave us something in the comments, something you like to see, something you don't like that you see. Just let us know. We enjoy the show, but we want you to enjoy the show as well.
Right. We want to interact with you guys. And before we get up out of here, I said I was going to show it off, and I'm a man of my word. So just to let you guys know, the show is brought to you in part by our homies over at the New Challenger Discord for Street Fighter V. And like I mentioned earlier, they are going through a t-shirt sale right now. They are selling t-shirts in order to send a few of the lucky Street Fighter combatants to EVO. And as you can see, I have them displayed on the screen right now. You can purchase them. They're ranging from $22 to $25. All proceeds go towards sending our players, our coaches primarily, and some of the higher end players to EVO. So right here you can see some of the designs. We had to get Karen with the ho-hos. But this is the one that I purchased. This is the regular light blue one with the New Challenger logo on there. But there's a few designs, a few different colors. Go ahead and purchase one, and it'll be put towards a good cause. Hopefully you'll be able to see Mount Lover on your big screen come EVO, because we will be there. We are going to EVO, and it'll be awesome. If you guys could help us get there. So I'll put the link in the description down below, but the website is teespring.com /store/new challengers. And I'll make sure to put that in the show notes in the description, so you guys can see that as well. And also, don't forget to head over to newchallenger.gg for more information if you're interested in Street Fighter V or getting good at that game. But I think Boogie's throat has had enough. He just muted himself while he coughed just now. So we're going to go ahead and end things here. This has been a weekly gaming news show, and we are your hosts. My name is Trenell.
I'm Todd.
And we will see you guys
next week.
Peace out.